written by Terry Miller Shannon. Introduction. A peacemaker is someone who works to end wars, conflict, and disagreement between people, groups, or countries. Though widely respected, peacemakers can also be controversial for not choosing one side or the other. They can also be victims of violence, even killed for standing up for their beliefs. There are many awards for peacemakers, but the most well-known is the Nobel Peace Prize. In this book, you'll learn about some people who have worked for peace, many of whom were awarded the Nobel Prize. Wangari Maathai. Wangari Maathai was born on April 1st, 1940, the village of Ekindi in Kenya. A gifted student, Maathai was able to study at Catholic boarding school. She quickly rose to the top of her class. After graduating, Maathai went to the United States, where she earned 2 bachelor's degrees. When she returned to Kenya, she earned an advanced degree called PhD from the University of Nairobi. She was the first East African woman to earn a PhD. Maathai was deeply interested in the health of environment. Her education helped her see problems and find creative solutions. She knew that deforestation, human removing too many, was warming up the environment because it was causing trees to dry up and crops to die off. Interested in the health, as if she knew that deforestation, human removing too many trees, was harming the environment. It was causing the stream to die up and the crops to die off. It was also causing the desert to spread. When Maathai's husband won a seat in Kenya Parliament on the promise to help more Kenyans find jobs at once by creating new jobs that also help the environment. The job Maathai created involved planting trees. Most people, mostly women, were hired to plant seeds all over the country. Maathai's work became known as the Green Belt Movement. The movement was named for its goal of planting a green belt, a strip of tree over an area 8,000 kilometers long. The plan was the belt of trees would help reverse the damage caused by spreading desert. The Green Belt Movement did not stop at planting trees. Maathai felt that passing law to protect the environment was important. The Green Belt Movement helped with voter registration and demanded government changes. They also protest action that would harm the environment. Police arrested and beat Maathai and her supporters many times for trying to stop people from selling or building on public lands. But the protesters knew that building on the forest land meaning removing more trees, so they kept protesting. In 2004, Maathai became the first American woman and the first environmentalist to win the Nobel Peace Prize. She died in 2014 from cancer. Wait me a minute. Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela was born on July 18, 1918, in Melville, South Africa. At birth, he was named Ohidana Mela. He changed his name to Nelson when he was in school. He studied law and became active in politics. The late 1940s, South Africa operated a system called apartheid, which separated races. Non-whites could only have limited contact with white people. They had no political power. Native people made up 70% of South Africa's population. Yeah, poor schooling, poor housing, and most could work only servant or laborers. Mandela worked for many years with a black politician organization to fight apartheid, but their peaceful protests were met with violence. The government banned the group from protesting. Mandela decided violence must be met with violence. He hauled from military wing and obtained weapons for it. He was arrested in 1962, sent to prison, and in 1964 was given a life sentence. Meanwhile, other countries pressured South Africa to give up apartheid. Locally, black and white people led the protests against the system. President of South Africa, a white man named F.W. de Klerk, took steps to end apartheid. After Mandela had been in prison for more than 25 years, de Klerk freed him. Mandela was recalled to change in South Africa's government in 1994 thanks to two men. Elections were held in South Africa for the first time. The election was open for all South Africa citizens, no matter their race. In 1993, the Nobel Peace Prize was awarded to both Mandela and de Klerk for their work on opening free, fair elections to all South Africans. In April 1994, South Africa elected Nelson Mandela as the country's first black president. He knew he was now in the position to lead his country to complete equality between races. He led the government to write a new constitution, which became law in December 1996. Where is it? Mandela was known for working and having emphasized of all races in South Africa. Many white South Africans who once stopped giving other political power changed their mind thanks to him. Mandela died in 2013 at the age of 95. Martin Luther King Jr. Martin Luther King Jr. was born on January 15, 1929 in Atlanta, Georgia. He went to school to become minister. In part of he believed the leader of black churches to take charge of the movement against the discrimination. In those days, Dalton University was separated, which meant black Americans were separated from the white people and treated as if they were inferior. White people forced black people to use separate bathrooms and water fountains. Black people were not allowed to vote and were humiliated at the polls if they tried. King, as his Montgomery, Alabama, congregations to fight discrimination by joining a civil rights group called the National Association for the Advance of Colored People by Voting. In 1955, a black woman named Rosa Parks was arrested when she wouldn't give up her seat to Montgomery bus on a white man. In support of her action, King led a movement to boycott or refuse to use the city bus system. The boycott resulted in a lawsuit filed by the NAACP. This lawsuit led the U.S. filed by the NAACP. This lawsuit led the U.S. Supreme Court to declare Alabama separation laws illegal. Now, King was considered a key U.S. civil rights leader. King's speeches was so moving that some considered him the leader of a nation's black population. He went on to help increase black voter registration integrated restaurant, and more. King's goal was all black people to be active as U.S. citizens. People sometimes acted violently toward King. He was arrested and imprisoned, and his life was threatened. But King never gave up. He never responded with violence. In July 1964, President Lyndon Johnson signed the Civil Rights Act. Segregation became a federal crime. King won the 1964 Nobel Prize, which celebrated a nonviolent resistance to segregation. On April 4, 1968, in Memphis, Tennessee, a white man shot King. In 1983, Congress declared the third Monday in July Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Oscar Romero was born on August 15, 1970, in El Salvador. He grew up in a Catholic family and entered a special high school to prepare for science at the age 13. After high school, he continued his study in San Salvador. Romero then graduated and became a priest. Romero's friend and fellow priest Rutilio Grande was killed by the government in 1977. The El Salvadoran government disliked Grande for speaking out loud about human rights. The government worried that the people fighting for their rights will threaten the government power. Romero was shaking his friend's death. He began speaking out human rights and violations, including government killing. The following year, several military dictators came to power. Then, when the military controlled the government, people in El Salvador fought back against the military control. This led to the Salvadoran Civil War. During this time, the military searched for and killed those who opposed the dictatorship because the newspaper could only publish what the government approved. Romero his speeches on the radio. He named the people that were missing, harmed, and get killed, even though doing so made him a target. Romero radio speeches at the Salvadorans to get reliable news about the war, even though the press could not print it. By March 1980, Romero gave a speech on the importance of following God's order rather than government or military's order. He asked soldiers to put down their weapons and stop following orders that violate human rights. When he finished his speech, a man shot and killed Romero. Romero was named a saint by the Catholic Church in 2018. Married Corrigan and Betty Williams. Mary Corrigan was born in January 27, 1944, in Belfast, Northern Ireland. Betty Williams was born on May 22, 1943, in Belfast. They grew up during a time when Catholic Irish Salvation Army members were trying to killing and terrorizing people. Trying to drive the British out of the Northern Ireland. Groups of Protestants responded in kind. Hundreds on both sides were killed and thousands were hurt. William met Corrigan in August 1976 after an accident in which the IOA member caused swept out of control. The IOA member had been shot by British-backed protesting troops, and when he lost control of his car, he hit a family. The mother, Corrigan's sister, was hurt in the accident. Corrigan's niece and two young nephews were killed in the crash. Betty Williams witnessed the accident. She vowed to what she could do to restore the peace and began a petition calling for an end to fighting. Corrigan criticized the IRA's violence television the day after the accident. 2 nights later, Corrigan saw William discussing her petition television and called to invite her to the funeral. Colin and William led a protest demonstration of about 10,000 women to the grave of the victim. The two women became friends, joined together by the feeling of the violence in the country. They decided to create an organization to help make peace in Northern Ireland, where they joined with population journalists, students, McConaughey, and founded Peace People. The group wrote and handed and the book called The Price of Peace. They organized marches in the name of peace. Thousands of people marched. Corrigan and William traveled to countries throughout the world on behalf of peace for Northern Ireland. Although their life was threatened, they were steadfast in their goal for peace. By the end of summer of 1977, violent acts in the Irish conflict were reduced by more than a half. William and Corrigan won the 1976 Nobel Peace Prize. The two women continued to work with Peace People by helping survivors or attacks and victims of violence. Their rallies in poverty-stricken areas to rebuild things damaged by bombs. They raised millions of dollars to support the program, including one in which they got terrorists to turn in their weapons. Other awards for peacemaking efforts were given to Corrigan and Williams. Williams died on March 17, 2020. The Peacemaker in June. Peacemakers have made the world a better place. So can you, by working to solve an argument and friends, at school, and in your community. You can become a peacemaker and make a difference too. When there are conflicts between students that can lead to violent feelings and sometimes to violent actions, some schools have formed peer mediation programs, train students, guide others to work out their differences. As a result, people can learn their discretion and respect can solve conflicts. Students themselves solve the problem. If you want a peer meditation group, the first step is to find a teacher who can help. Teachers usually go for meditation training first, then more volunteer student meditators chosen or nominated. Most middle school peer meditators attend 12 to 15 hours of training. They learn the definition of conflict, how to communicate and listen, how to act as an effective go-between. When arguments happen, teacher can give the student the option of going to peer meditator or going to the principal. It's always the student's choice. Then train student guides the whole meditation and for discuss in which everyone learns to compromise. Explore more on the internet. Use google.com to find out more about topics represented in this book. Use terms from the text or try researching from glossary or index words.
Good job. Great job on a perfect score.